Hello everyone, it is Luxury Mogul here, and we're here for another battle video. Today I'm returning back to the basics. Well, not really back to basics, but back to the deck that we all know and love. Electric with Rayquaza EX. So, obviously I haven't gotten many cards over the past couple months, so I'm still going to be playing the same decks. But I'm really excited because we will be going to Worlds. PikaCirculator will be going to Worlds. I hope to get a lot of awesome stuff there. And we will be doing probably a series on leading up to Worlds, so that should be exciting. So let's start off with a Tornadus on the field, just because I feel like it has a better chance of attacking over Rayquaza. So I do have two Dynamo on the bench with Rayquaza EX and one Energy on the Tornadus. Now looking at this hand, it's pretty obvious that I do not have any supporters or trainers, so I'm gonna have a little bit of a hard time refreshing my hand because it doesn't look very good right now. 2+ powers and a lightning energy, not that great. Other guy starts with the Kyurem, the Noble Victories Kyurem, the one I haven't seen this in play for a long time, and he has water energy and a rocky helmet. No, so yeah, so like I'm saying, I'm really excited. It's coming to Vancouver. And as we know, and as I know, we're probably PikaCirculator is probably the one of the bigger people representing one of the YouTubers really representing Vancouver from Canada. I haven't really bumped into any other ones, so being kind of like the host YouTubers, we will be doing lots of cool stuff with you guys. Especially with Worlds coming to our backyard. That's very exciting. Anyways, back to the battle. He plays a catcher. He has a water energy attached, so that's 2 energy already. I really do not like one of his attacks, Glaciate. With you need 2 water energy and a colorless in order to do it, and it does 30 damage to all your opponent's Pokemon. So it's not a very enjoyable place to like something to play. I play Super Scoop Up just to scoop up the Dynamo, and because I do have a max potion in the deck, but I do have a max potion in the deck, but I don't have it right now. So, and I do want fresh Dynamos, but I know that once Glaciate, that's my mail. Once Glaciate activates, I know that my Dynamos don't stand a chance unless they get evolved, so I need to evolve them as soon as possible. By the way, I'm really distracted right now, and this really, no offense, but this player does play a little bit slowly, so I will be going off topic a little bit. I do get my first Sharon. I get my first supporter, period. But I still dead draw on the energy. So I giant cape the Mewtwo EX just to give it a little more hit points. I do see that I have an N in my hand, so I do have a better chance of getting what I need next turn by restarting my entire hand. But other than that, it's looking pretty dead right now. I haven't attached energy for a couple turns, so it's a little scary at this point because I do need the energy in order for me to attack the Kyurem, obviously. Kyurem does Glaciate to knock out one of my Dynamos already. I get another Dynamo, I put it down on the bench, and I N. Because he has less prizes than I do, he gets less. He gets less cards back. I play Tool Scrapper to scrap the Rocky Helmet, and then because it says select 2, I need to discard my Giant Cape as well, unfortunately. So I do get 2 level balls and a bunch of energies, so I'm really glad that I do have that. I get 1 electric, and I'm going to do the other electric as well. But I completely forgot that I just played down that Dynamo, so I can't evolve it anyways. But stupid me, being the stupid person I am, gets it anyways. So don't mock me about my misplays. I really haven't played in a really long time. So I look at my hit points, and it confirms my suspicion that it doesn't have enough. So it's going to die. So what I basically end up doing is that I retreat. This is really complicated. I retreat to charge up the Mewtwo, and then I switch to the Mewtwo. I retreat so I can get energy into the discard pile so I can get up the Mewtwo. Yeah, that was a little complicated. But basically, I did that so I could basically just start doing some damage because I thought because, he only has one Pokemon, let me do some damage to it so I can knock it out easier. Huh, wrong. Spoiler alert, wrong. He gets a Sharon, draws 3 cards. And he really is a slow player. I was going to fast forward through some of these parts, but I figured that I didn't have the time. So he gets a really good Sharon because he plays down 3 Pokemon after that Sharon. So he gets basically is able to fill up half his bench from that Sharon, which is incredible. Plays down a White Kyurem EX, a Reshiram, and I don't remember what the green thing is. I don't remember what the grass card is. Roll over it, damn it. Never mind. Yeah, no, never mind. He's not gonna roll over. Okay, I don't remember what that grass thing is. If I do remember, I'll let you know. I do remember mousing over everything, so that White Kyurem, I remember the White Kyurem scares me because it's another EX, and I need to basically run over some stuff. Plays a catcher for the Rayquaza, and this is when I realized that I'm not getting the max potion I need, and it's not in my discard pile, so I can't junk arm it. Actually, why am I even talking about junk arm? Because I don't even have a junk arm. Yes, he doesn't even have a junk arm. So, anyways, I realized that his Kyurem can actually do Outrage because of all the damage I did to him. So, not nice. I retreat to put more electric energy into the discard pile, and then I X-Ball to knock it out. The only times I would ever retreat, because retreating is a waste of energy, but the only times I would retreat is to put electric energy into the discard pile. And this battle is actually really good, you trust me. It's actually pretty intense. But anyways, he brings out his Reshiram, and he plays Fisherman as a supporter to bring back a bunch of the energy that was discarded because of his knockout, which is a useful regeneration tool for him. I look at my hit points, and I realize that I have 140 left, which is plenty, considering that his Reshiram is not charged up yet. But also considering that the Reshiram has no energy on it, I'm going to have a difficult time knocking it out with X-Ball in one turn, because I cannot get the energy fast enough. And I cannot bring out my Rayquaza, because it only has 20 hit points left. So, these are the things that actually run through my head while I'm playing. So he plays down a Tornadus EX. Yeah, these are the crazy things that run through my head when I'm playing Pokemon. Yeah, so he plays down a Tornadus EX. He starts charging up the Tornadus EX, which is actually bad news for me. He passes, and because I don't have any energy, I don't really have many options to do anything. So I decide to end up just attacking with X-Ball, which does 40 damage to him because he has no energy, and I have 2. However, that energy, that would not do me any good, but I did realize that because he doesn't have any energy, I find that he needs a double colorless energy to be able to attack with Reshiram anyways. And I feel like that's not a risk he's going to take because he should be charging up his Tornadus. So I look at my Rayquaza again just to see that it's 20. And he attaches a Rocky Helmet to Reshiram. And I wait for, and my family members are home and they're all like squealing, as always. Let me see. So I draw, I get an electric energy, and because energies are so rare in this deck, I don't even know why. They're so rare, and it's so hard for me to get anything. I was deciding where to put it, and then I decided to attach it to Mewtwo EX, and I end up doing 60 damage to Reshiram EX. Big difference that makes. I noticed that I have a Sky Arrow Bridge, but I also noticed that Tornadus EX has a Blow Through, which does extra damage if there's a Stadium in play. So I decide to hold off on playing the Sky Arrow until I actually need to do it. And he appears to be thinking. I don't know why he takes this long. No offense to all the players out there who take a little bit longer, but sometimes it's a little frustrating. It is a little frustrating. I guess in this way it is easier to play live because you can actually see the expressions of the other person. It's basically, if you're doing online, basically all you're staring at is a screen with nothing happening. I have no, I have, I have nothing against people who do things like that, who take a long time. Like, go right ahead, but online it's just a little pain. So because I can't really do anything anyways, I outrage to get my second prize, just to catch up on prizes a little bit. I get a Zekrom, which might be a little useful in the long run. But because I don't have much energy in the discard pile, I might have a difficult time using it. So then I noticed that this is the part when I noticed that Tornadus EX is actually weak against electric. So electric types. So that's me double checking to make sure he plays twins, of course. And then I realized that now my biggest priority is to charge up the Zekrom so that I can attack it and, you know, hit it for weakness. Twins is out of format. Which is why I don't like it when there are people who are playing modified format and other people who are not. Because I worked incredibly hard. He has a Scizor Prime on the bench. That's what I just noticed. So it was a Scyther that he played on the it was a Scyther he played on the bench, and he evolved it to a Scizor. And he just knocked out my Mewtwo to take 2 prizes. What I don't like about this format because it doesn't let people do modified format. So you have people who are basically playing junk arm and everything up against people who are actually trying to practice against the modified format. Junk arm, Professor Oak's new theory, all that stuff. It's completely not fair because they obviously a lot of really good cards have been rotated out. So I bring out my Tornadus just because it's easier for me to bring out my Tornadus because it can retreat easier with Skyro. So right now I'm debating whether or not I should retreat it, and I do end up retreating it. I retreat it for the Zekrom, and because I actually don't have any extra energy on it, I cannot attack with. I can only attack with Outrage, which does 40 because of the extra weakness. Not what I wanted. I was hoping to do a 100. I was hoping to do a 240 first with that turn, with the extra lightning energy, but I guess I might have misplayed or just did it wrong somehow. But it just didn't work out. At the end, it just didn't work out. So I ended up doing 40 and basically banking on that I get an extra energy because Electric's ability doesn't let you attach electric energy to the active Pokemon, only to the bench. So that's one of the drawbacks to using Electric because you can't attach to the active Pokemon. So there's no way I can charge that up if it stays at the front lines. I'm still waiting for him to do something. I don't know what he's doing. I know that he's charging up his White Kyurem EX, which could be bad news for me. He's also charging up his Scizor Prime, which I believe his ability is that as long as the other person, as long as the other attacking Pokemon has has special energy attached to it, they can't do any damage to Scizor Prime, which isn't a problem for me because I actually don't run too many special energies. So I actually choose to revive the Mewtwo EX because Mewtwo EX doesn't need that much energy to attack. So I wisely decide to revive the Mewtwo EX to charge it up to attack, and because I do not draw another energy, I cannot attach to Zekrom, so I still am doing the same amount of damage. Oh, no, he did some damage to me, so I now do 100, I believe. That's right, 100, because he used Blow Through. So now I count and I realize that he still has around 30 hit points remaining, so I'm very far from knocking him out. But I also noticed that he now has a Zoroark on the bench and a White Kyurem, so it's very, very bad news for me. I remember how good Zoroark was when he used Foul Play for a double colorless energy. Especially with the Mewtwo, that could be really bad news for me. But considering he's not a Psychic type, it shouldn't be too bad. But anyways, he knocks out my Zekrom, which is bad, 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 bad news. And he takes a prize for that. And then now I'm stuck with a predicament so now I feel like I am going to have to play the Sky Over Bridge. So I use the Electric to focus purely on charging up the Mewtwo EX just to do as much damage as possible. I check the white Kyurem, and I realize he has around 4 energy, so he's ready to use Burn, whatever it's called. And it's very, very bad news for me. I do have a catcher in my hand and an enhanced hammer. The enhanced hammer is not going to do anything because I realize he's not playing any special energies either. So I end my turn without playing it for some reason. I feel like that was a good idea to just skip, because if I attack that, if I attack the Tornadus, which only has 30 hit points left, then I basically take damage from Zoroark or Reshiram without doing anything. So it's because not Reshiram, the white Chiron does 150, and the Zoroark can do much more by attaching more energy to it because of he can use my X-Ball. So those two are my biggest concerns right now, because the blow through does like 100. But I decide to just leave it and see what happens. And it turns out it probably was a pretty bad move on my part to not knock out the Tornadus EX, because he kills my Tornadus and puts me behind by 3 prizes, by a huge 3 prizes. So now I am in a big predicament. I do draw the electric energy now, if it's like too late already. But I do draw the electric energy now. I have a Molga on my hand, plus powers, none of that stuff I'm ever going to need yet. So I look at the white Kyurem, and I count his energy, and I realize I don't have enough to knock it out. So, I do realize I have to catch her up, so I realize that I can catch her up whenever I need to. I use Dynamotor and charge up the Rayquaza for some odd reason, and it's the only energy I have, so I can't use any more electric powers. I debate using the catcher, then I debate not to, because I realize that either way I'm pretty much dead man. But I attack with the X-Ball, and I kill it. Which is a big waste of energy, by the way. But I do pick up 2 prizes, the double colorless, which I actually needed desperately before. So I do get a double colorless, and now I realize I only have 2 more prizes left. Which means that if all I need to do is catch her up, all I need to do is capture up the white Kyurem and knock it out, and I am done. So I realize that right now the Zoroark doesn't have enough energy to actually knock me out with X-Ball. He only has 150. So he doesn't realize that I have a catcher in my hand. So I play the double colorless energy, and I catch her up as white Kyurem. And then I play the plus power just in case I counted wrong. And then I X-Ball for 210 to take the game, actually, from from a 4 prize deficit. So, yes. So that just demonstrated the amazing, incredible, game-changing power of the catcher. Thank you everyone for watching again. Sorry our videos are kind of bland, but we are back, and Lux removal coverage should be coming back next week. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.